let's talk about how I'm on a personal development journey and I'm not doing tarot readings anymore. Maybe not forever, but for now, I'm not doing tarot readings. When I created the spiritual detective in general, it was all about spirituality and me coming out of the spiritual closet, find some kind of identity for this spiritual part of me. Now, I've always been spiritual. I've always been into the occult. I've always been into the scary, the spookies, the witches and the vampires. I've been into all of that my entire life. So, and I probably will always be into spiritual forever because it's just a part of me. I came here with that as my initial, those are my settings. Those are the factory settings that I came here with. So I'll always be into spirituality and tarot and all things witchy. But I want to say that in the past year or so, in the last couple of months, maybe like the first half of this year, something like that, things started to take a turn. And I also was attending school. I was also like I enrolled back into school. So a lot of my time was, focused on my studies and making sure that I was getting to school on time and just, everything that entails being in school. And I didn't feel like I had the space or the time to dedicate to tarot readings. And when I say tarot readings, I mean like personal tarot reading. It's just things kind of took a turn, and I felt like I just didn't have time for it. I had gotten some like requests or bookings, and I ended up having to either return people's money back or push the time frame further out because it was like every time I felt like I was going to sit down or like I wanted to deliver this reading to the person, I just didn't have it in me. I didn't have it in me because I was just experiencing so many things in my own personal life. I just felt fraudulent. I felt like it just didn't feel right to deliver messages to other people when I myself was not feeling like I didn't feel like my best self. And it's not to say that you can't deliver the message when you're not feeling your best self. I just felt personally for myself on an energetic level, I just didn't feel right. So I made an executive decision and I decided that I'm not going to be doing readings until further notice. I created like a wait list, for anybody that was interested. And, by the time I did decide to do readings again, but as of right now, I don't feel that way. I feel like right now my time and just everything where I'm at in my life, it's like everything is supposed to be going inwards and geared towards me, and like all the energy that I've ever given to other people, um I need to refocus that energy and like give it to myself. So in true Aries fashion, it's quite interesting. They say that astrology is not real. Like some people believe like, astrology is hocus pocus. But the more I read on the signs and the transits that are happening, it's like, well, I've always believed in astrology, so nobody could tell me different. It didn't matter what anybody thought about astrology. But as I've been more in tune with it and like been following it more in the last couple of years, and just like now in the recent, it's crazy because I find like the transit that we've had in the past, I think, year and a half, it was like an Aries Libra axis transit. And it's so funny how the transition in my own personal life, where, Libra is the sign of, partnership and the sign of the other, it's the sign of relationships versus Aries is the opposite of that. It's the sign of the self, it's independent. It's just you. And it's like I feel like I've transitioned from from the Libra axis into the Aries axis, where now it's like I'm not really concerned into catering to the other, you know, and and this is still me catering to the other, but in a self way, you know, if that makes sense. Like, it's not expectant of me certain time frame, you know, like, oh, you have to deliver my reading during this in this time frame because I paid you, or whatever, you know. The point is just that this feels more free, and it feels like I can share on a more free level, and I like that, because it takes off the pressure. I can show up, but I'm showing up for me. I really hope that makes sense. I'm probably not explaining it to like it's like the best in the best way. I just feel like I just don't have the time or the energy to dedicate to anybody on a very one-on-one level. I would love to do that at some point again, you know, like that was stuff that I was trying to do, you know, like I was trying to have more one-on-one time. I wanted to do kind of like a coaching type of situation, you know, like be your psychic concierge, you know, kind of deal. But, you know, again, if you watch my last video and I was talking about, you know, when I was doing things more so because I wanted to be like monetized or I wanted to make money online, didn't make it any less authentic. Like everything I did was like coming from my heart, but at the same time it was coming from a place where I wanted to be incentivized, you know. And now it just feels like I don't really care about that, you know. Yes, money is important, but for me, money isn't everything. I just feel like I've transitioned from the whole trying to incentivize or monetize, and I feel like I just want to be a more authentic version of me and show a more authentic version of me and connect more with people on a level where it has nothing to do with monetary exchange. You know what I mean? Now, if somewhere down the line, because it is something that I do want to do, because I am into psychology and, you know, I'm into psychology and I'm into spirituality. So it's, you know, and I feel like a part of my purpose is to guide the collective into, you know, discovering really who they are, you know, like we're all really spiritual beings having a human experience. But I just feel like I want to do that on a less pressured, less salesy, you know. Like I've never really been into sales, you know. I feel like I've done sales things in my lifetime, but I don't know, it just never felt good to me at the end of the day, because you know, I just feel like if somebody wants something, like they'll get it because they want to, not because you're like putting it in their face constantly or whatever. I know sales is like the blood of business, you know, clearly, especially in a capitalistic society, and that's where we live, you know. But I don't know, I don't know, I view things very differently, and I'd rather have an exchange with people that it's like, cause you fuck with me, you know, you know what I mean? Like you feel my vibe, you like how I am. Like I prefer that over it being like, oh, book me for and then afterwards I'm like, book me for a reading and book me. I mean, like I had to do that before. Obviously, this part of sales, and like promoting yourself, you know, especially if you have a business, like that's normal. But again, I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to do that. Like I want to do my hair stuff. I want to, you know, be a psychology student. I want to, you know, talk my shit, you know, like I want to talk about personal development, and I don't want it to be attached to anything but just me having an authentic interaction with my viewers. So that's that on that. So if you come across this video and you were asking yourself how I went from reading tarot to now just chit-chatting on YouTube. That's how and why. I don't want to do that anymore, at least not on the level that I was doing it before. Maybe I'll pop out and do a collective reading. Who knows? Maybe I won't. But I will talk about things I want to talk about, like astrology and tarot and spirituality and whatever, but not on a monetary exchange. Not like that. Not no more. All right. So yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. All right, so peace. See y'all in the next video.